Hi there. I've decided to take a break from modern Gnosticism, with its emphasis on duality and non-duality. Non-duality belonging to the supernal worlds, and this world is a world of duality. I've decided to go back to fundamentals of classical Gnosticism, as I understand it anyway, which is the assumption that matter is evil. All matter is evil. And pretty much classical Gnosticism doesn't really work unless you believe all the things in this box here, that all matter is evil, all that arises from matter is evil. That means human thought, human feeling, human intuition, human sensation, and all that is encompassed by the demiurge is evil. This is, it should be encompassed by the demiurge as evil, right up from the world of matter, all the way up to the esoteric level. So that even though you at this level you might meet Melchizedek or angels or I don't know, helpers of various kinds, even Elijah and Moses and all that. They are all, because they are in the realm of the demiurge, they are all evil, because everything that the demiurge touches is evil, and everything that the demiurge encompasses is evil. And you may say, well, what do you mean by evil anyway? Um, well, I'm looking at this whole situation from the point of view of my soul, the soul which perceives anguish at what it perceives. So all this white space here that you see here represents my soul, okay, which is of the which is of the good God, which is of the ineffable supernal realms, as reflected, my soul trapped within the evil matter. And this is my soul, so all the white space. And I'm perceiving all these markings on this page, which you see in black, to represent the fact that all matter is evil. So air is evil, water is evil, fire is evil, earth is evil. Evil is evil, which we'll come on to in a minute. Good is evil in the sense that everything is corruptible, corrupting, and corrupted. And pretty much evil is good because strength, which is the same as lust, is said to be evil and therefore is good. So evil is good because it is strength and lust. And the forces of exploitation, manipulation, and predation are held to be good in the realms of the demiurge. So there is no good anywhere on this earth, or right up to the etheric levels, through the astral levels, everything. There's no good anywhere. So that's pretty pessimistic. Pessimistic, and I laugh because I suppose laughter or tears are the only response to this situation. And so evil is evil. So I made a sort of list here which surrounds this main sigil in the picture here: frustration. We'll know about depression, harm, isolation, pain, and corruption, of course. These are the main sort of culprits, as it were. But not only that, and this is like the really bad thing, not only that, but these symbols seem to be evil. So spirit, ether seems to be evil. And from that, the Calvary cross, the Christ rose, the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Grail, which is represented by these particular elements. They are evil too because they arise from mentalization, from concepts, even from intuition, which, because it comes from is encompassed by the demiurge, is evil as well. So it's all pretty awful, really, in a way. And I look at the world through the anguish of my soul, not exactly through a jaundiced eye, but certainly, well, there's no jaundiced there. It's just anguish, really, and my soul is trapped. So you can see that my soul is white, and as I scrape away the white to create these images that you see in front of you, underneath they are all black, and the blackness is there. Okay, but the thing about it is, if I do this, if I reverse the colors, which I like doing on this program, now you will see that okay, all matter is evil. So all this darkness, all this blackness here, upon which all these images are scribed. And if I draw on these images, draw on the black stuff with black pen, you can't see any images. So that it's like if I draw anything, if I draw if I draw something beautiful, you can't see it. If I draw something ugly, you can't see it, because all is evil, all is black everywhere. But now, if you look at these, symbols for the elements, the symbol for spirit or ether, the symbol for Christ, the Christ rose on the Calvary cross, the Holy Spirit or the dove descending, and the Holy Grail, which is here a platter. It is the platter rather than the chalice. You'll see that underneath this blackness is pure white, is the whiteness of the ineffable, which is the Ein Sof Ur, the limitless light which lies beyond the cosmos. And I have I've created this. I can see the white through the bars of the prison, if you like. I can see the ineffable, and I can see the ineffable through the symbols that I've assembled here, which are the five symbols. You've got one symbol here, which is a circle. You've got the symbol for the dove. You've got the symbol for Christ, which is made up of two symbols, and you have the symbol for spirit, ether. And I have five symbols: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pillars of Islam, for example. There may be 5 elements. And you can see here that I have the symbols of the elements, which are also white, suddenly converted to white. And they are, so I see the world now. I see the ineffable through matter, and I can see the ineffable through the 5 symbols of Gnosticism, basically, which is how I understand it anyway. So even though I'm in this blackness, and my anguished soul is in the blackness, I am imprisoned in evil matter, and all that the demiurge encompasses is evil. So I'm in this darkness, this dark place, with this frustration and depression and so forth, and harm, and you cause harm, and harm is done to you, and the corruption and everything, the corruptible, corrupted, and the corrupting, but in spite of that, I can see the light beyond. And so I pick up the stone, as it says in the Gospel of Thomas, and I look under the stone, and I see that the ineffable light is there. I break the piece of wood, and I see that within the wood there is the ineffable there, the light there. So what starts off, as very depressing, is in fact transformed with a click of a switch, if you like, into something very hopeful and very beautiful. And all I had to do was, in fact, click the switch. I just clicked on reverse colors for this particular paintbrush program. It doesn't matter what it is, but I clicked the switch, and suddenly everything's changed. The perspective has changed. So even though I'm in the midst of darkness, and and you look and you say, what about a beautiful tree? Well, can you see the beautiful tree now? Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. Can you see that now? Can you see Auschwitz, Birkenau? Can you see Pol Pot or Idi Amin, or or Pinochet? You can't. The good and the bad, the good and the evil are suddenly well, the evil is there, but you can't see it anymore. It's become invisible. And all that you can see is the good that is good, which is beyond the encompassing realms of the demiurge, you see. So I present this to you from the premise that all matter is evil. Everything that arises from matter is evil, including human thought and sensation and feeling and intuition, for the most part, and all that is encompassed by the demiurge is evil. But now, because we have entered into this evil world, the perception of evil, and we're in this dark place, right? If I and in this dark place now, I can perceive, I can go into myself, I can introspect, I can meditate, and in the midst of my meditation, I can see that the four elements are in fact, looking through the bars of the prison to the ineffable goodness beyond, and I can also look at the five symbols of Gnosticism, and I can also perceive the goodness beyond them as well. So they're like little windows, aren't they? The circle and the dove and the Cairo and the symbol for spirit or ether. They have become like little windows, and I can see through the little windows to the ineffable beyond. So I started off by being very pessimistic and saying that evil is evil, good is evil, and evil is good. So now I can see that beyond the demiurge, good is good. It is what it says on the tin, sort of thing, And of course, you may say to me, "Oh, but you don't know what good and evil are. It depends on the definition, and you're thinking in dualistic terms, whereas you should be thinking in non-dualistic terms." I can't think in non-dualistic terms whilst I'm here in the realms of the demiurge. I can't. I can only see things in terms of dualism. And I can only see things in terms of good and evil. And you say, "Oh, black and white thinking, go and see your CBT therapist, But I can only see, because this is the realm of duality, to go back to that model again. And perhaps beyond duality there is non-duality. Beyond duality there is non-duality. Kind of rhymes. And I can see that this exists. But to go back to the classical Gnostic model of all matter is evil, and possibly even Marcion Christianity, which isn't strictly Gnostic, by the way, apparently. But anyway, I start from the basic premise that all matter is evil, and then from there I work into I meditate, and from the meditation I can see that there's great hope. I go from dismay, to astonishment. Just by clicking a switch in my brain, I can turn the colours around, and I can see that this is white and all this is black. Whereas before everything was white and all these things were black, including the five symbols of Gnosticism, the five holy symbols. And of course, the four holy words, "I love you, God," when they were uttered within the realms of the demiurge, they didn't mean anything. But in meditation, in the contemplation, suddenly the four holy words become completely significant, completely true, completely, they represent the underlying reality. So all this blackness, this realm of the demiurge, is spread over the ineffable light, and this is the truth and the reality. It lies beneath this thin layer of blackness, if you like. Whereas before, when I perceived it as white, I thought underneath the whiteness was all black for infinity. I could only see infinite blackness. So this really, the point about this is that you should go into a meditation. It's good to read the scriptures. It's good to meditate on the words of Gnosticism. And it's very, very good to introspect. And from perception of universal sorrow, frustration, harm, pain, and etc., you go from that through some kind of internal process, whereby then you can see the ineffable light beyond the realm of the demiurge. And that, I would say, would be the objective of Gnosticism, if indeed there is any objective to Gnostic meditation, as it were. But as well as that, of course, these five symbols also represent faith. So it's not just a matter of works, it's not a matter of meditation and improving yourself or making yourself go to a different place. It's also a matter of holding out your hands and receiving the grace of God as a gift and as something which is coming towards you, even as you are going slightly towards it, if you see what I mean. So I hope this explains sort of the essence of Gnosticism from the basic Gnostic premise that all matter is evil. But then we go beyond and we see that potentially good is good.